Hello, this is Tia, and welcome to another video. Today we're doing another video inside of Hermitcraft Season Clockwork. We are doing episode 28, chapter 5. And we'll see how we feel about chapter 6 in a bit. If you haven't read any of the other chapters and all the other parts, you be sure to do so, because spoilers, you know the gist. And yeah. Let's get right into it, shall we? Tango and Impulse arrived safely back to Jem's house. When they landed on the ground, Tango heard someone land just behind as he glanced back to see Tyler. The man had must have followed the back with relative ease, which certainly made him feel a little less nervous about the fact that he and Impulse had seen someone in the trees. Yeah. The YouTuber looked back to see Impulse walking up to Jem's house as he knocked on the door before opening, gesturing for Tango to follow him inside. The YouTuber didn't argue as he went to the house and walked into the main room. Is everything alright? Yeah, Impulse admitted with a small smile. It was a great move to leave. Was he there? Tango asked. I'm pretty sure. The YouTuber nodded his head. He doesn't show himself unless he wants to be seen, apart from that one time. What time? Tango questioned. I don't think I can tell you, Impulse admitted with a small smile. It's a lot you're not telling me, Tango admitted. I know, Impulse sighed. I want to, I really do. I just don't want to put you or anyone else in unnecessary danger. The right people know, though. Right. Tango replied with uncertainty. I'm serious, Impulse insisted, walking over to him. I've told Matthias about the whole thing, because I know he'll do the right thing. Told Gem and Pearl, because Pearl already knew something was up. I knew I could trust them to help me with this. I guess that's fair, Tango managed with a smile. Do you trust me, though? Impulse didn't say anything for a moment before nodding. Of course I do. If I need to tell you more, I will, okay? Tango tilted his head curiously for a moment, thinking before nodding. Okay. The other YouTuber smiled in relief. Come on. I'm sure Gem's up here somewhere if she hasn't heard us come in already. Oh, I heard you all right, a voice said from behind them as they both jumped. Tango turned to see Gem watching them from the stairwell with a small smile. How was the adventure? It was fine, Tango replied as he glanced over at Impulse. We ought to cut it a bit short, though. She nodded, seeming to understand. Matthias is doing some final check-ins about the new recruit. Hopefully we can get someone in soon. Won't people be suspicious? Impulse asked nervously. Won't he be suspicious? Not at all. She smiled. You were expected to get someone new coming in anyway. I don't think he'll care much about it. Good. Impulse sighed in relief. To be fair, what we're doing here is pretty suspicious, Tango admitted with a chuckle. Yep, Gem nodded simply. Until we know it's safe to do that, though. We need to be careful. Of course, Tango agreed. So when will the arrival be expected to come? I'm not too sure, she admitted, climbing down the stairs and over to the window. Probably in a few days, unless it can be done sooner. The other two nodded before agreeing with her. They didn't say too much after that, for a long moment before Tango spoke again. So what should we do now? Is Pearl back yet? Oh, yes, she's been back for a little over an hour, Gem said with a wide smile. Just resting up after the trip. That's neat, Impulse replied. Maybe the three of us could ask around the other hermit bases to see if there's anything we can do. Oh, I have something you could do, she said with a chuckle. And a few of the hermits just let me know that they were running low on their medical kits. Want to help me refill them? Sure, Tango said happily, as Impulse nodded in agreement. Follow me? Upstairs then, she said cheerfully, as she went back to the stairs and started to climb. The two YouTubers followed suit, just as eager to do anything to get their minds off what it just happened at that. Tango wasn't sure if he should mention it to Matthias, especially with the fact that B-Dubs could possibly be sick with the redstone bug. But he wanted to wait just a little bit longer, just in case it dissipated on its own. He needed to look more into it. For now, though, he was more than happy with giving his friend some space to breathe and figure things out himself. The day went slowly turning to evening as Tango finished off the last restock of the kits with the help of Gem and Impulse. The time seemed to go by fast as he glanced out the window, seeing the looming trees just beyond. There were quite a lot of shadows for someone to hide in if they wanted to. Luckily for him, he wasn't planning on walking out there in there at night. Especially with the potential of it looming and crawling with monsters in every corner. He walked out into the hall as he waited for the other two to follow, spotting one of Impulse's communication distress call devices hanging on the wall still. His direction was diverted from the machine back to its fence. I think I'm going to call it a night, Impulse admitted as Tango noticed Matthias leaving one of the rooms and entering another. He'd informed them earlier that someone was planning to come in and keep an eye on Impulse for a while in a couple of days. Good night, Impulse, Jem said with a nod before looking over at Tango. Want me to take you to the door? Sure, but I think I should be fine, Tango admitted. She smiled as she followed him towards the stairs as he took them down to the first floor, making it to the door as he noticed Tyler in the main room, relaxing in one of the armchairs. The man stood beneath all them, heading over to see what they were up to. You've certainly been keeping yourself busy, the escort replied to them with a chuckle. Yeah, Tango replied matter-of-factly. I think we should be heading off now. I guess I'll see you tomorrow then, if it's all right, Jem. That's fine, she said happily. If you want to bring over some more stuff for potions, that'd be great. Tango nodded as he went to the door, putting his hand on the handle before he heard glass shattering and a shout from upstairs. Immediately he saw Jem running towards the stairs, Tyler not far behind as he followed them. Impulse? Jem called as she made it to the top of the stairs and stepped into the hallway. Door opened and a head peeked out, an apologetic expression on the YouTuber's face. I'm okay, he admitted quietly as three of them approached. Someone just broke my window with a rock. What? Why? Jem demanded as Tango lowered his eyes. He noticed something in the YouTuber's hand. Can I see that? Tyler asked, having noticed what Tango had spotted as Impulse hesitated for a moment before giving it to him. The man took one glance at it before nodding as Matthias came in from behind and glanced over his shoulder. What is it? Tango asked nervously as Impulse walked out of the room, closing the door behind him. His face was still pale white, his eyes glued towards the two cause members expectantly. It's a calling sign, a really old one, Matthias finally said matter-of-factly. Mr. A's men usually sent these to their victims as a warning as they were going to get a visit from them sometimes. Impulse nodded his head as he looked down at his feet. I had a feeling that was it. How soon? Jem asked Matthias quickly. That's a bounce, Matthias replied before looking over at Impulse. I have an inkling that you've seen this before. Yes, sir, Impulse said quietly. The man smiled gently. Then I suppose you know just how serious something like this could be. The YouTuber nodded his head before looking at Tango. I don't think it's a good idea to go back home tonight. You sure? Tango asked nervously. It's better to be safer than be left with a mess on our hands, Tyler told him simply. All right, Tango replied in understanding. I think you should spend the night at Perot's, Impulse, Jem suggested calmly as she stood beside him. I'm sure she won't mind. Sounds fine to me, YouTuber agreed. But how did you know how to be in the room? He probably followed you and smashed her in a random room, knowing you'd find it, Matthias pondered. I'm pretty sure he knew where I was, Impulse admitted simply. Well, he won't expect a shift in plan, Jem mused. Come on, I'll take you over to the secret passage. Tyler, if you want, you can come with us. What about me? Tango asked quickly. Stick with Matthias for now, Jem said simply. We shouldn't be long. Let's hope so, Matthias replied with a frown, as Tyler handed him the piece of paper before following the duo down the hall, for he disappeared behind a hidden door in the walls. You think we'll be okay tonight? Tango finally asked him after a long moment of silence. I don't see why not. Tyler and I will be careful, alongside with Pearl's escort. Besides, that's reassuringly. If there's trouble, just let us know. Okay, the YouTuber nodded. Why do you think the men would use an old way like this? Matt smiled. It's silent. The men clearly didn't want to be seen. It's less obvious than a giant machine or just seeing someone lurking in the shadows. David swallowed. How many of you know about this? Most of us do, Matthias shrugged. Why don't you get some rest? We've got this under control. All right, I'll see you tomorrow then, the YouTuber replied, walking towards a random room as he walked in, seeing it was unoccupied and had not been claimed by anyone. He plopped down on the bed and closed his eyes. He slowly but surely fell asleep. Chapter 6. You need a drink of water. Tango woke up the next morning, the morning sun shining brightly into the room as he climbed out of bed, confused for a moment as to where he was before everything came back to him. He wiped away the sleepers from his eyes as he looked out the window, down to the ground below. There didn't seem to be any signs of life down there. No critters scattering around the two-tipped grass. No birds fluttering in the trees. No movement of anything in the shadows. Complete stillness. He walked over to his temporary bedroom door as he opened it, stepping out into the hallway as distant voices finally reached him. They sounded like they were coming from the main room downstairs. Curiosity got the better of him as he walked down the hallway and began his descent down the stairs as voices became louder. He could hear Jem, sighs, and Impulse downstairs, along with someone unfamiliar. Finally, he had a glimpse of the man, wearing the cause's traditional camouflage uniform, as he made it down the steps. The man was standing over by the window, leaning against the wall, nonchalantly. I don't know why I just wanted to say it like that. Is that everything I need to know? The man asked, looking quite bored as Tango walked towards the group quietly. The man's attention was redirected to him as he smiled. Well, good morning. Is there something I missed? Tango asked quizzically. This is the new recruit assigned to keep Impulse safe, Matthias said told him matter-of-factly. Okay, Tango replied with a nod. He glanced over at Impulse. I was planning on checking on B-dubs today. If the two of you want, you could take along. We have other matters to tend to, unfortunately, the new escort said bluntly, before Impulse had a chance to respond. Besides, I need to know my way around this place. I mean, you can do that after, Tango offered. It'll only take a few minutes. What are you doing after that? Impulse questioned. I've got some contraptions to set up, the YouTuber admitted. I'm sure it's fine if we just tag along with him. I'm sure it's fine if we tag along with him to see how Bubbles is doing. Impulse told his escort simply. That way we can deter anyone who might be following us back. It doesn't matter. Whoever's tailing you probably already knows where you live, the man pointed out. I don't know my way around here, and as much as you do, so I do need to make sure I'm prepared. All right, Impulse sighed as he glanced over at Tango. Sorry. No, it's fine. I can tell you how it goes after you, if you want. Matthias and I could go with you. Jem offered. Tango suggested with a smile. Jem offered lightly. Yeah, Tango replied with a nod. Good to see that settled, the new escort replied with a smile as he headed for the door, gesturing for Impulse to follow. The trooper hesitated for a moment before he followed the man out of the house, glancing back over at his friends one last time before the door closed behind him. Jem ran over to the window almost immediately to peek out as Tango walked over to have a look. The two YouTubers watched as their friend disappeared into the trees with a new escort. I really hope this works out, Jem admitted quietly. He can call us for help at any time if he needs to, Tango pointed out. Sure, he'll be fine, though. Yeah, she nodded her head, still frowning, as she stepped away from the window. Not sure how I feel about that guy, though. How about we head over to B-Dub's place, see what he's up to? Tango suggested. Maybe it might be good to get our minds off things for a bit. I'm having this close, though, she replied determinedly, patting her pocket where he assumed the device was hiding. So be it, Tango said with a grin. I will too. She returned a smile as the three of them walked out of the house and launched themselves into the air as they went towards B-Dub's place. So what exactly do you want to check with B-Dub's about? Jem asked curiously as they collided side by side with Matthias right behind them. He got infected with the bug I mentioned yesterday, Tango admitted. There were some side effects, but he didn't seem open to talking about it. Right, Jem nodded in response as they neared the YouTuber's base, landing perfectly on the ground as they walked seamlessly towards the door. It immediately opened as B-Dub limped outside, appearing relieved to see them. Don't come inside, the YouTuber said quickly, stopping them as they neared the front door steps. What's going on? Jem asked quizzically. Chaos, that's what. B-Dub chuckled. Things are going off everywhere whenever I get even close to it. It's getting too much, isn't it? Tango began. B-Dub sighed and shook his head. It's fun for a while, but now I can't seem to do anything. It's getting worse. The YouTuber watched as his friend sat down on the steps, pulling up his right pant leg as he showed the bite. The red vein seemed to be crawling up his leg, snaking upwards like gnarled tree branches. Oh, that's not good, Jem replied with concern as she took out the choker box and put it down. I'm not sure any of those things will help. B-Dub stated simply. Strength makes it grow faster, healing makes it grow faster, weakness seems to slow it down, but nothing stops it. What about water? Jem asked. It stinks, B-Dub said matter of factly. Does it help, though? Jem asked. Rest. T-Bear said nothing for a moment before nodding his head. Jem smiled as she pulled out a water bottle from her pocket and doused a towel with it as she gently dabbed at the veins, Tango watching as they began to shrink back. This is pleasant, B-Dubs admitted with a pained groan. I know, but we need to calm it down so it's easier for you, she offered. I doubt it'll kill you, though. It very well could, B-Dubs admitted bitterly. The three of them said nothing as Jem managed to get the veins to completely disappear, only leaving small irritations in the skin as she added a drop of regeneration on the bite as to completely close over, healed. Two completely closed over, healed. Why were they trying to make sense of that when it already made sense, right? Right. That should do it, she'd say quickly as she stood. How are you feeling? Better, I guess, the YouTuber replied as he stood. The real test is inside, though. Then let's try it, Tango offered, as the YouTuber followed his friends to the door as they watched it for a moment. Doesn't seem to be going mad when you're near it, Jem offered. B-Dubs nodded, focusing for a moment. At first, nothing happened before it slammed shut in front of them. The YouTuber smiled. Some of it still doesn't stop. That good or bad? Tango asked. I don't know, the YouTuber admitted. It doesn't hurt, though. Not anymore. That's good, Jem nodded. B-Dubs opening the door again as he walked into the house, looking around for a moment as Tango quietly observed. The entire house wasn't going mad like before. It's calm, quiet. Thanks for the help, the YouTuber replied. I wasn't able to call because the signal kept messing up. Really? Tango said curiously. It's been a really weird morning, to say the least, the YouTuber sighed. My escort has been spending the whole day outside. It got too much for him. Guess it's the only plus. None of Mr. A's men would want to get near me and deal with such madness. Tango laughed. I suppose so. B-Dubs nodded his head with a smile. So what brings you two here? We just wanted to see how things were going, Tango said simply. I'm doing fine now, the YouTuber replied. Tell, Jem said simply. Aren't you meant to be tagging along with the impulse? B-Dubs questioned her quizzically. He has a new escort now, Jem told him simply. He should be okay. Right, the YouTuber said calmly. That's good to see you found someone. I had a feeling that's why he and Tango came by the other day to help Dad. You were working it out, Jem admitted quietly. You're doing great, the YouTuber said encouragingly. Why don't you two hang out for a little bit? Unless you have to do other stuff, of course. I don't, Jem replied before glancing at Tango. He does, though. Ah, then you probably should get to it, we just told him. Ah, well, Tango chuckled. Tyler will be right behind me, I'm sure. Yeah, Jem nodded. I'll be okay here. I know, he smiled. Besides, if any of the men did come here, B-Dubs could just let the chaos commence. Definitely, the YouTuber said with a laugh. See you later, then, Jem giggled. As Tango walked over to the door, the YouTuber waved as he left the house, seeing Tyler near the tree line by Matthias. Probably having caught up to the rest of them, the YouTuber nodded and launched into the air, hearing his escort do the same. He had a job to do. Yep, this is going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, did you like that? Yeah. B-Dubs probably was the funniest one to do for me, because it's one to do this, like, I'm going to say it's now. It's not completely gone. There's still some left. I don't know what's going to come of it yet. But hey, if you have any ideas, just let me know. I would love to hear them. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one, whatever that might be.